Last month's video evidently got me back into baking because here I am doing another one for you. Today I'm going to be making coffee cake, and that is from your votes. I gave 4 different recipes on my Instagram, and the top vote getter was coffee cake. And I enjoy coffee cake, but I have never made it myself. Seems like a pretty straightforward beginner recipe, so let's hope that that's the case. I will link the recipe below in the description if you're interested in making it for yourself. But let me first take you through the ingredients and then we will get started. So you're going to need for this recipe flour, brown sugar, ground cinnamon, salt, butter, vegetable oil, vanilla extract, or it says you could also use vanilla flavoring, granulated sugar, baking powder, 1 egg, and milk. So I believe that's all the ingredients. If I missed anything, I'll put it up on the screen. But the first thing to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, just to mention, the name of this recipe is the best, easy, and moist coffee cake recipe. So let's hope that's true. Then you need an 8x8 baking pan, and it needs to be greased. This recipe is broken up into sort of 3 different sections. So we're going to be making our streusel topping, then the cinnamon and brown sugar layer, which I just now read is optional, but I got the stuff for it, so I'm gonna make it. Plus I think it will be tasty. And then of course the coffee cake portion of the recipe. And lastly, a glaze to put with it. For the streusel topping, we need to melt 5 tablespoons of butter. So it says to do this first so that the butter has time to cool before combining it. So this way we can be mixing other things while it's cooling. So that's what I'm going to do first, melt the butter, set aside so that it can cool. While the butter is cooling, we are now going to combine the rest of the streusel ingredients, which is 3/4 of a cup of flour, 1/2 a cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of salt. The butter is still cooling a bit, so I can't add it to those ingredients yet. So next I will do the brown sugar and cinnamon layer, which is just 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. Next, I'm going to start our coffee cake mixture, which is going to start in 2 separate bowls. Don't ask me why, that's just how they said to do it. In this small bowl, we're going to combine 1 egg, 2/3 cup vegetable oil, 1/2 a cup of milk, and they said to use whole milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So basically all of your wet ingredients. Now I'm going to add the butter onto our streusel mixture. It says just to pour it on top of the dry ingredients, stir till combined, and you should see small pea-sized balls that start to form. Then we can set aside. Okay, hopefully that's going to be good enough. Who knows? Can't tell exactly. Now we're going to combine the rest of the coffee cake ingredients, basically the dry ingredients. Then once those are combined, add what we just mixed for the liquid ingredients into it. So for the dry coffee cake ingredients, you'll need 1/3 cup granulated sugar, 1.5 cups flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we are going to put it in our pan. First, a thin layer of the batter on the bottom, then go over that with our brown sugar and cinnamon layer, then put the rest of the batter on top, then put the streusel layer on top of the second cake layer. Is working correctly. I guess I haven't worked with this type of dough before, but it doesn't seem to kind of lay evenly and smooth in the pan, but hopefully that'll be okay. It says for a standard pan to bake for 18 to 20 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. But if you're using a glass baking dish, it says to do it for 30 to 35 minutes. Then we have to let it completely cool before adding our glaze topping, so I will go over that later. But now, let's get it in the oven to bake for 18 to 20 minutes. It's a while later now. The coffee cake has cooled, so now I'm going to make the glaze so that we can pour that over the coffee cake. So for the glaze, you need 1 cup of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Combine all of that together and pour over the glaze. I'm not too sure what happened with the glaze. It seems like a lot. Maybe I wasn't supposed to put all of it, but why would they have you make all of it if you're not supposed to put all of it? But it's not like drizzled like theirs, it's just kind of all on top. So hopefully that's not gonna ruin things and like make it soggy or something. I don't know. But I cut a little piece and I'm going to give it a taste. It's also a bit crumbly, which I think is how coffee cake is supposed to be, but it's been a while since I've had it, so don't know. All right, let's hope it tastes good. I took a corner piece so it has less of the glaze, but I think it tastes good. Definitely more of a crumbly cake. And I don't know if I've had homemade coffee cake. I know I've had packaged coffee cake. I'm not sure if I've had homemade. Tastes good to me, I'm just not sure how it's gonna hold up with the glaze because I feel like it's gonna make it soggy maybe. Are you supposed to refrigerate coffee cake? I don't know. Let's consult my phone. Coffee cake should be stored in refrigerator if it contains perishable ingredients such as eggs or dairy. Room temperature is fine for those that do not contain, so we need to refrigerate this. Good to know. But that's it for this Baking for Beginners. Thanks for voting. I'll try to think about what I could possibly bake next, but let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. Thanks for watching. I'll have to bring some of this to work to share because there's no way I can eat all of it, and I definitely shouldn't eat all of it. But I'm gonna enjoy the rest of it that I have here on my plate. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.